Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Russell Brand. They all understand something about empathy and how to make people love you, all right? In the next 90 seconds, I'm gonna explain to you how empathy can either help you make people love you or hate you. I made a video a little while ago, put an iCard up here for it, okay? It's all about how to influence people. And this is the foundation of what I do here. Teach you how to influence people for relationships, dating, social dynamics. But you gotta understand influence to understand how the government is manipulating you, how the media is manipulating you. If you don't understand it, it goes completely to Now, the first lesson I want to teach you is about the Canadian convoy that's happening here in Canada. You might have heard about it.
Your country's in revolt. Do you know about this? It's a giant convoy of trucks that's apparently some insane amount of people, like 50,000 trucks, to protest the vaccine mandates by Trudeau.
I got trucking on my mind. There's a great big convoy trucking across Canada. So why is no one in the mainstream media talking about it?
Now, with the Canadian convoys going, it's against vaccine mandates. Not against vaccines, but just mandates all across Canada. Now, when the Premier or Prime Minister, as it were, Justin Trudeau spoke about it, he made one mistake, okay? Typically when people are fighting for a cause or they want to get you motivated, they try to rally you up by having something they're fighting for and something that they're fighting against. That's what's really important here, something they're fighting for and against.
Over the past many months and years now, Canadians have stepped up to protect each other, to protect our frontline workers, to protect our elders, to protect our young people, to protect people like truckers who are putting food on our grocery store shelves. Canadians have stepped up to do the right thing to protect the freedoms and the rights of Canadians to get back to the things we love to do. The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other.
So in the latest Justin Trudeau video, he's talking about he's for freedom. We want to have a free country. But the irony of it is there is no freedom with mandates. He's talking about he's fighting for safety. But it's not your safety, it's the safety of people that you're not, that's not you, it's the elderly, right? He's talking about he's fighting for the elderly. But if you're elderly, it doesn't concern you as much. Maybe he's saying he's fighting for the science, but then at the same time, he's not following the science. So it just comes off as a complete hypocritical movement. Now, what is he against? He's against free speech because he doesn't want to hear opposing views. He calls it a fringe minority of other people that have views that are not the same as him, right? So what he did in his argument was actually very, very weak because he discredited himself on the for and the against argument. Now, this would work if you're saying, like, trying to lead a movement, you know, and myself, I might say, I'm for free speech, I'm for individual empowerment, I'm against the media, I'm against government control, or I'm against not expanding your mind, right? I'm against the schools overcharging you. That makes sense, but when you're for and against compete with each other, people can't follow you. One of the things that Justin did by mistake here is he doubled down on his offensive statement. He said they have there are fringe minorities, people who want free rights, and they have unacceptable views. You should never double down on something that's offensive. If you are going to say something that people don't agree with, what you would do is you would preference it with what I call discrediting. So here's a technique. You would discredit yourself. You say, you know what? I don't know everything about health. I'm not a scientist. I'm doing the best I can.
I do not know if they're right. I don't know because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. Do I get things wrong? Absolutely, I get things wrong, but I try to correct them.
But a lot of the ways people are handling stuff is wrong, right? You have to discredit yourself. If I'm going to get on here and say, let's say you're new to audience and I want to teach you about social dynamics. I'm not going to get on here and say, hey guys, I know everything. And if you don't know anything, you're dumb by not listening to me and you're stupid. That's no way to engage somebody's brain because our brains automatically shut off anything that is opposing to our belief of the world, right? It's just a defense mechanism we have. We try to maintain our sense of self and the way we see the world. So if I'm going to get on here, I'm going to say, hey, listen, I want to teach you some stuff about social dynamics. And this is just what I've learned so far from traveling. And I'm open to ideas being different. I'm open to you guys teaching me stuff. And if I learn something new, I'm open to changing that idea and learning as I get better. See what I did? I discredited myself before I gave the information. What Trudeau did here is he made a mistake of doubling down on two things that were offensive, and therefore people can't even agree with him. They might have disagreed with him partly on the first one, but then they second disagree with him even more on the second part, and so it's like it just compounds. What would have been better for him is if he said, hey, listen, we don't have all the information right now. We need to go back and look at it, educate ourselves, and we'll let you know. I would encourage you to do that if you're a manager or you're an entrepreneur, you have a business, you have a bunch of employees that are mad at you, maybe some customers that are mad at you, and you can't answer them there in that moment saying, hey, listen, we need to go back and educate ourselves, get some more information, and as soon as we've done that research, we'll get back to you with an answer. That's how you handle that situation. As a matter of fact, if you want to learn more about how to be popular and use your social intelligence so you don't look like you have a rock in your brain, okay? It's not just a hamster in a hamster wheel. Click in the top hand corner here. I'll put a playlist about social intelligence so you can go deeper down that rabbit hole and understand how to be popular yourself.